day. I pray unto God that you have all that you wish and you have a lot of delightful moments this day. So work hard and just ensure that you achieve all your goals. Be nice to everybody at home and be nice to your friends and just ensure that there is peace, prosperity, and a lot of joy in your life. Everything comes from inside your heart. Okay, so nobody can give you happiness. Happiness comes from within yourself. There is happiness in your family if you have happiness within you. So I wish you all a wonderful day. May God bless you. And now we have dreams. All of us have a lot of great dreams. And today I'm just speaking for the young boys and girls and men and women who are still pursuing their studies, who are just undecided and unsure about what to become in their life. So we discuss, in fact, in these series of live streaming sessions, different careers and how to be something. And today we are discussing how to become a copywriter. We are discussing what is the profession of a copywriter, what is the work of a copywriter, and what is the nature of work, where is uh, one getting training for this profession of copywriting, and what about the very kind of work where to which organizations the copywriter contributes to. Okay, so copywriting maybe it is a nightmare to teachers, professors, and all, but we have to understand that it is not the art of eloquent writing. Eloquent writing we have in great literature, poetry, drama, fiction, and all. But copywriting is different. Copywriting is primarily a selling skill. Okay, it is not just creative writing. Copywriting is not just creative writing in the sense that it is not writing poetry, it is not writing poem, it's not writing story, novel, fiction, play, or anything. It is just writing. It is again, yeah, creative writing because you want to sell something. You have a lot of products, services, and institutions and courses and all. So something is to be marketed, something is to be sold, and you want to draw the attention of your customers to the product, the service, the course. Okay, and with that purpose, we write something. The copywriter is writing something, and a very clever headline. So when we have, of course, advertisement everywhere. We have different types of advertisements like classified advertisements, display advertisements, and advertisements in the form of short films, movies, and music and all. Okay, so a very captivating, attractive, interesting headline will, of course, make a customer, maybe a buyer. So the purpose of the task of a copywriter is to make, to write clever headlines, paragraphs, sentences, which will, of course, attract the buyers, the customers, and consumers. So, because of the clever headline, films will be watched, books will be bought and read, and products will again be bought and used, and clothing items like textile industry again, right? There are different types of shirts and trousers and jeans and all in the textile shops. So with proper headlines, paragraphs, sentences and short films which just illustrate the product, the service, and all. uh, Selling is, of course, taking place. So copywriter's duty is to just make very interesting headlines, paragraphs, and turn into a turn an object into a hard, or rather a very selling object, right? Okay, so selling message is the work of a copywriter. And in fact, one has to be very creative. One has to be very creative in order to be a successful copywriter. So copywriters work hard to create magic in words, in passages, in, of course, films. All right, when I say films, it is, of course, short films or short movies that are just advertising, that are advertisements of objects and services and all. So the maybe a number of words that would just move people to respond. All right, and a copywriter himself defines his work as that of a salesperson who manipulates words within the communication media. So a copywriter is somebody like a salesperson who is not working in a shop or a mall, but who is just attracting or captivating the buyers through his headlines, words, dialogues, passages, etc. And now, a copywriter. Who is a copywriter? What are the skills required for a copywriter? Okay, so a copywriter is a combination of hard-headed entrepreneur looking at his or her own product and the competitions, and of a magician weaving a spell around a commodity. So you have a commodity, you have a product, and you have to make a very attractive, magical description, or rather, of course, a modification, or rather, a decoration in words or colors to, of course, sell the product. That is the duty of a copywriter. So a copywriter is a combination of hard-headed entrepreneur looking at his or her product and at the competitions, and of a magician weaving a spell around a commodity. And the job of a copywriter is to create fundamentally sound selling idea. So we have a number of products. It could be clothing, it could be just uh, uh, anything that we use: pen, pencil, book, umbrellas, bags, then, of course, services like education, courses, then hospitals. We have hospital is, of course, an industry, and the advertisements for hospitals, advertisement for doctors, and treatment, medicine, nutritious products, commodities. So the job of a copywriter is to create fundamentally sound selling idea, then to write the words, whether for the newspaper, magazine, catalog, radio, television, or package label. So copywriters will write advertisements for the newspaper, magazines, okay, we have dailies, we have magazines, we have the radio, we have the television, and these days the FM radio is a very big media. It has a lot of audience, and the television, the social media, the internet, okay, and again package label, right? Maybe an advertisement is just broadcasted in all these media, the mass media. So the job of a copywriter is to create a fundamentally sound selling idea. And now the nature of work, the nature of work. So a copywriter has to write copy for print advertisements. You have a product to be sold, and you have to write very interesting uh, description for the object or the commodity. So the main function of a copywriter is to write copy for print advertisements, broadcast commercials, net advertising, newspaper, magazine articles, and corporate publications. Okay, so apart from writing the copy for advertisements or commercials, copywriters may also be responsible for brochures. Okay, so there could be, as I said in the beginning, classified advertisements, there can be display advertisements, there can be, of course, like movie like advertisements, there will be, of course, notices, bulletins, then brochures, and letters and internal publications. So uh, some of the copywriters will have to write press releases, feature stories, newsletters, brochures, leaflets, manuals, etc. And there are other copywriters who will be working in the corporate sector, in non-profit oriented organizations or government agencies. They will have to write reports, speeches, and scripts for audiovisual material, instructional booklets, giveaway sheets, and promotional material. So all these tasks will come under the duty of a copywriter. And let us see how uh, trained and skilled a copywriter must be. In order to write effective copy, the copywriter must come up with creative concept that will sell the idea or make it memorable. Copywriting differs from reporting and creating forms. In reporting, the writing seeks to inform, while creative writing is largely self expression. The style of writing for each of these differs. Reporting requires straightforward recital of facts, putting the most important facts first. So, reporters' duty or the duty of a journalist and the duty of a copywriter are different. The copywriter will have to make very attractive headlines, descriptions, sentences, paragraphs, maybe notices, bulletins, pamphlets, letters, etc., about a product or a service. And he is just like a salesman or a saleswoman, just describing a commodity, a product to the market. So he should be very, very imaginative. He should know, of course, how a very, very interesting and captivating headline can be created. And he must be very proficient in language as well, because he has to attract the consumers or the buyers. Like we we have, of course, it's in fact a very good profession, and the payment is also quite wonderful. And the thing is, one has to be very, very imaginative. So uh, everything is being advertised. Everything is advertised. Okay, like we have different products. It could be anything like small little products like pen, from pen, even pencil, okay, books, then different uh, products we use at home, utensils like pressure cookers, then of course electrical uh, products like fan, like of course air conditioners, right? Okay, for everything. Then again, services, banking sector, education sector, hospital, okay, medical sector, everywhere we have a lot of selling and buying. And a copywriter must make very, very captivating titles, passages, dialogues, sometimes, of course, very long letters, reports that would attract the buyer or the consumers to the market. So normally, the let us look at right now the work environment of a copywriter. So copywriters are just hired by advertising agencies. So it is the advertising agency who hire copywriters, and in the advertising department of an organization, it could be a retail organization. So in the advertising department of retail organization, in the advertising department of a producer of primary materials or finished products like textile firm, electronics manufacturer, book publisher, etc. And in the promotion department of an organization disseminating ideas as opposed to products. So the besides, of course, public agencies, direct response agencies, telemarketing agencies, television, radio, e-commerce, corporate industry, and non-profit organizations are the work environment of copywriters. Okay, all these agencies or all these organizations or all these offices, okay, the copywriters will have to contribute to. And often the atmosphere is chaotic, full of excitement and vibrancy, and no one looks at the clock, as work hours are never expected to be regular, nor the work humdrum. Working in advertising requires you to be articulate, outgoing, and a team player who thrives under pressure. So we have again, so this is about the work environment. So you are hired by an advertising agency. Maybe you work, in fact, in one of the advertising departments of a producer of primary materials like textile industry or electronics industry or maybe the publishing industry or somewhere you are working. And of course, there are different branches for copywriting, specializations in copywriting. Okay, so let us understand the different branches or specializations in copywriting. So the medium of the copywriters can be again varied, like it could be the print media, it could be the broadcast media, then internet, direct mailing, posters, etc. Or it could be and often the medium is language of communication is, of course, English or regional or colloquial. This is the usual area of specialization. So one has to specialize in maybe, yeah, as a copywriter for the print media, for the radio, the television, the internet, again for direct mailing, just like writing notices. Okay, and besides, one has to specialize in, of course, the media, then the very language. There are some copywriters very, very efficient and proficient and successful in English language, maybe in the regional languages, okay, like the Malayalam language or the very Kannada, Tamil, okay. So one has to be to specialize in maybe which media I am contributing to. And again, the copywriter can, of course, write specialize in many media same time, many languages same time. So all this is just the skill of the copywriter. Some people are, of course, proficient in many languages, and they are, of course, quite media savvy, like they can contribute to different media. And now the let us look at the requirements for a copywriter, the physical and psychological requirements for a copywriter. Let us just look at the physical and psychological requirements for a copywriter. So the first thing, if you are one of those who is planning on giving copywriting a fair try, then these are the requirements. Like you should have an insatiable curiosity about how and why things work. You must have an insatiable, never quenchable curiosity. You should be worldly wise. You know what's happening in the world all around you. Should have a very good imagination, good sense of humor again, and you must be able to see both sides of an argument. Why is it good? Why is it not good? What are the merits? What are the demerits? And you must, of course, be very, very imaginative. Besides, excellent writing skills, creativity, originality, boundless drive and stamina, considerable business acumen are important for copywriting. Okay, these are very essential. Writing skills, creativity, originality, then indomitable, boundless kind of drive and stamina, and business acumen. Okay, and not only that, the copywriters must like products, people, words, and study people in their reactions to new ideas as well as to new products as and to new means of communication. They have a love for and knack with words and language. So, language proficiency, creativity, imagination, and curiosity and sense of humor, okay, are very essential for a copywriter. Now we shall just look at the study and training. There are different courses for this particular profession of a copywriter. Now let us just look at some of the training. So when we look at, we can see that there are so many training programs. Like we have 1 year postgraduate diploma in advertising. Advertising is the main branch of copywriting, and there are different courses. And one is, of course, the 1 year postgraduate diploma in advertising, 1 year postgraduate diploma in advertising and public relations. Then, similarly, we have 1 year postgraduate diploma in marketing and marketing management, 2 years advertising and communication management, 2 years master's degree in mass communications, 1 year postgraduate diploma in mass communications. Okay, so there are different courses and training packages for copywriting. And now we will just look at the employment prospects, right? Or rather, what about the payment? What about the job where one has to work, right? So, as I said some time ago, copywriters are employed usually by an advertising agency in its creative department, where artists, designers, photographers, typographers, and printers also work. So, we have an advertising agency, and we have creative departments like artists, designers, photographers, typographers, and printers, right? So the very relaxed and informal atmosphere in an advertising agency is a major motivating factor for aspiring copywriters, but the pace and pressure are very, very demanding, right? So there is so much of freedom, there is so much of vibrancy, but one has to just contribute to, rather to be very creative. There is always a deadline, and the pace and pressure are very demanding in the employment. So now about the payment. Of course, the copywriters are paid very well, and normally it could be right in normal, like average, medium advertising agencies. The payment can be anything. In India, of course, above 50,000 rupees per month, and it can just differ from agency to agency based on the the size or the very, very uh, yeah, the magnitude, okay, or the kind of turnout a company has, right? And now let us look at the career progression. What are the different promotions a copywriter can have? So, a copywriters can move on to become copy supervisors. Okay, copywriters, copy supervisors, senior copywriters, creative heads, or freelancers working for various agencies, organizations, and media. And now let us look at some of the organizations or some of the institutions, colleges, and different courses where copywriters get trained. Let us look at international uh, level in the beginning. Say in England, we have a wonderful uh, uh, organization or institution for copywriters, and that is in London. And it is in fact an association. It is the Advertising Association, Upford House, 15 Wilton Road, London. Okay, so in London we have the Advertising Association. So there will be courses and programs for copywriting in Advertising Association, Upford House, London. Another one more advertising institute in England is Institute of Practitioners in Advertising in 44 Belgrave Square, London. And now from England, we move on to United States of America. In America, we have an association of American Association of Advertising Agencies in 405 Lexington Avenue, New York. And again, we have another advertising federation, American Advertising Federation in Washington, D.C. So it is the American Advertising Federation Education Services Department. So this federation is also giving training in copywriting. Besides, we have in San Francisco, we have International Association of Business Communicators in 1 Holiday Plaza, San Francisco. Okay, so now let us look at some of the important institutions where we get training for copywriting in India. And in Chennai, we have the Bhavans Rajaji College of Communication and Management. In Bhavans Rajaji College of Communication and Management, Chennai, there are PG diploma courses in advertising. So the eligibility for joining this course is graduation and an admission test and an interview. So Chennai Bhavans Rajaji College of Communication and Management is one of the very good institutions for copywriters in India. Chennai, we have one more, that is Chennai Institute of Communication, and it is offering a course, PG diploma in advertising. It is in fact eligibility is graduation, admission test, and interview. Similarly, in Kolkata we have Bhavans College of Communication and Management, and the course is PG diploma in advertising, and the eligibility is graduation, admission test, and interview. Now, Kolkata, we have one more, that is Bhavans Ashutosh College of Communication and Management. PG diploma in advertising is the course, and eligibility is graduation, admission test, and interview. Similarly, in Mumbai we have, so Chennai we have, Kolkata we have institutes for training as copywriters. Now we have in Mumbai. In Mumbai we have Xavier Institute of Communications, St. Xavier's College, Mumbai. It's offering a course, PG diploma in advertising, and the eligibility to join for the course is graduation, admission test, and interview. Now, Mumbai, we have another institute, that is Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Bhavan's Tana College of Communication in Bhavan's campus. It's offering PG diploma in advertising, and the eligibility is graduation, interview, and written test. And now we have another institute in Mumbai. Mumbai, we have many institutes. We have Sophia College, BK Samani Polytechnic, Mumbai. It's offering PG diploma in social communication, media, graduation, admission test, and interview eligibility. Then we have KC College of Management Studies in Mumbai. Then we have NIMS, NMIMS in Mumbai. And now, okay, we have seen in institutions in Chennai, Kolkata, and Mumbai. Now let's look at some very good institutions in New Delhi. New Delhi, we have a very good institute for advertising, that is National Institute of Advertising in New Delhi. It's offering a PG diploma in advertising and related areas, and the eligibility is graduation, admission test, and interview. We have two more institutes in New Delhi. Next is School of Advertising and Communication in New Delhi. It is offering a course PG diploma in advertising, and the eligibility to join is graduation, admission test, and interview. New Delhi, we have the Indian Institute of Mass Communication, and it is offering PG diploma in advertising. Eligibility is graduation, written test, and interview. Then in Tiruchirappalli, we have another good institute, that is Bharatidasan University, Tiruchirappalli. It's offering copywriting salesmanship certificate course. Eligibility is graduation alone. Now we have 2 years courses, PG courses, right? Postgraduate courses for copywriters. One we have in Ahmedabad. We have Mudra Institute of Communications, Ahmedabad. It's offering a 2 year postgraduate program in communications. The eligibility is graduation with 50% marks, and there is a common admission test conducted by the IIM's Institute of Management. In Jaipur, we have another institute for copywriting, that is R.A. Podar Institute of Management, Jaipur. It's offering an MBA in marketing and management. Eligibility is graduation with 50% of marks, and an screening or an admission test. There is an admission test taken. And in Pune, we have another institute, Pune Symbiosis Institute of Business Management. Pune is offering a 2 year PG diploma in advertising and communication, and the eligibility is graduation and clearing of the admission test. Okay, so these are the very important points I have to tell about the job of a copywriter. Okay, now we have looked at the what a copywriter does, and the employment, work opportunities, the working atmosphere of work. Then again, we have seen different institutions that give training to copywriters in different parts of the country. And maybe once again, I can just speak about some frequently asked questions. Often there are certain questions like, what is the work done by a copywriter? What is the work of a copywriter? And let us understand the work of a copywriter. Copywriters write the words of the ads, advertisements. The words could be written part of a print advertisement, as well as the scripts for radio and television spots. Copywriters in an agency produce headings, texts, and jingles, copy for articles in journals, and scripts for films and commercials. They work very closely with the art editor and visualizers. Okay, so this is about the work they do. They are writing for the print advertisements, and of course they are writing script for script. It is just like screenwriters, script writers, right? They write script for, of course, radio and television and the mass media. And now we have another question. How can I assess if I am suitable for the demands of working in an advertising agency? Can I be a copywriter? Can I work for an advertising agency? By nature, you should be outgoing. Okay, if you are an introvert and if you are happy indoors, you are not fit to be a copywriter. But you must be outgoing, creative, full of fresh ideas, love to interact with people, have keen social perception and interest in everything that is happening around the world. Try to read up on activities in the communication industry to become more aware of the nature of work. Talk to industry professionals. What you must objectively assess is whether you are interested in working in these fields and can handle a lot of pressure or work targets, deadlines, and long hours. So you must be outgoing, you must interact with a lot of people, you must be very creative, and of course, you should be able to handle the pressure of work, targets, deadlines. Okay, so much about the work of the job of the profession of copywriters, and now we will just conclude. So just wish you all the best to accomplish your dreams, work hard, and just reach your goals. May God bless you. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.